So this is Us Watching Us, and this is a series of live streams that we do on Tuesday nights, Japan time, 8 p.m., where we watch videos of ourselves from the 2010, but they started in 2009, where we made a bunch of proto-vlogs traveling around the world. And we are entering now, during this evening's live stream, we will be watching us in the UAE. A lot of people don't realize that Dubai and Abu Dhabi are technically in the same country. Like they think of them as like independent states, and I think they kind of are, but it's like a federation of states. Like I think it's somewhere between like, it's like stronger as a country than the EU, but maybe less strong as a country politically than the United States, like as a collection of places. But I'm really not actually 100% sure how the politics work there. But I think the UAE, which is, I think it's made up of 5 different states, but Dubai and Abu Dhabi are the ones that everybody knows. I think the other ones are a little less known. Appreciate the sub, by the way. And last week we were in India, and we kind of left India on under some medical turmoil. We just felt unwell. We just split, and it was adventurous.
I got
exit.
tired of watching you throw up.
You were sick too.
True. I was so sick that my period stopped. Like I literally was just months, losing random weight.
Didn't it take months for it to come back?
No. That was a different time. Wow. Intimate information about me. But yes, like I wasn't getting enough food, and my body just decided, well, we'll just stop that. That was pretty surprising.
Never been to Germany. Nope. So anyway, we'll start off with a map just to get everybody up to speed, since we're entering a new country. And that's the right thing. And then I gotta go here and press this button. Okay. All right. So this is the planet. And last week when we were doing our stream, we were talking about our time in India. We ended up departing out of Mumbai, even though we didn't really stay there. We were only there for a few hours, and we departed out of Mumbai. And when we were leaving India, we were looking at a map, and we had done Eastern Asia, and we had been all over the place over here over the past year at that time, and we were heading westish. That was the only goal we had. So we looked at a map just like we're looking at now, and we're like, where could we go where we know it will be clean? And that's why we ended up in Dubai, because I was like, I know Dubai is going to be clean. I don't know. We didn't have the brain power to research anything else. It was really just, I know that it's going to be clean there. Just go. And like, we couldn't go to Iran, but I said it wrong on both sides of the word. We couldn't go.
Yeah, you did.
we couldn't go there. We didn't know about Oman at the time. I knew Yemen was a little sketch. Saudi Arabia, we knew we couldn't get into it at the time, so it was like, okay, obviously we weren't going to go to Iraq in 2011. like it was easy to look at this and be like, Dubai is the place. So we just like knee-jerk reaction bought tickets to go to Dubai, and it was basically to go and get better. And it was also a bit of a fascination with like, what is Dubai? It's kind of like a peculiar place. So we ended up flying into Dubai, and we'll be covering our time in Dubai and Abu Dhabi this week. And that will be all the time we spend in the UAE, mostly, because we will also, it's complicated. Next week, we're going to be going to Oman, and we're going to do all of this stuff in Oman. And that's what we'll be watching with Us Watching Us. But if you look at, can I turn this on so I get... what if I do, oh no, it's not going to be a thing. Terrain? No. Turn off. I want to turn off like some of the stuff. That's probably going to be the best view I'm going to get. Okay. So if we look at this country, you can see that this is the UAE. Like it borders Saudi Arabia and Oman, and then it actually also borders Oman up here as well. And this is like separated from the rest of Oman. So all this area in between is UAE. So we're going to end up going up here next week. It's really cool. We had a really cool time up there. But we're going to end up passing back through the UAE next week in the videos because the Oman thing is a mess. But also, if you look at this, so this area is the UAE. This area is Oman. And inside of it is the UAE.
What?
Yeah, we went there.
I went there?
Yeah. You'll see it in the video
Zoom
tonight.
back in.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
What?
Yeah. It's really weird, right? So, I mean, this is quite small, this area. Like, this is 500 meters across. This
they really
is like
want that
2
cave
kilometers.
in the hamlet?
I guess.
Let's look at pictures of the cave.
I have no...
What's so amazing? Man, this looks like a cave. Oh, pretty nice foliage.
Yeah.
Sweet foliage. And the hamlet? What the fuck's a hamlet?
It's just like this thing. Nothing. It's like, I mean...
It looks like a shooting range.
It's like very, very small area. Like, look at this. I mean, it's...
It's like a graveyard. What is that? It's like storage?
It's very, very little stuff. I don't know if we went exactly here, but we went into one of these enclaves because there's a couple of them. I don't remember exactly where we went because it was Eason took us out. Like that's where because we passed into Oman. I think we did. I think we might have gone there because we passed into Oman with her. I remember going through the checkpoint. Anyways, so this whole area is all just like mixed up. So today we'll mostly be in the UAE. And we had a sub come in. Heather dropped us a sub, so we got it right.
That happened? When?
Yeah. Well, we were blathering about that crazy geography. Thank you, Heather.
So you just saw it on the left? It didn't happen on the right?
Well, also everybody's yelling sub and stuff, but I did see it when it came in. Came in.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, pals.
When is us watching us going to go on a hiatus? Probably next month. Maybe next week. Will be the last one for a while. We'll see. Okay, so we're going to jump into the first episode of Dubai. And it'll be us arriving. Can I get a bonk?
I need to be a part of this. That was a really cool little area you showed me.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully you guys have a bonk. We have a bonk. If you don't have a bonk, tell me no bonk.
Bonk, bonk, bonk. I didn't think Agupta straight to your face, so thank you very much. Really appreciate the sub.
Okay, a quick recap. We were in India for 20
Bitch, you just did this!
I didn't know this was coming. I don't watch the videos in advance. I can't do the thing.
Did you want this kind of map? Is this the kind of map that you wanted?
It's a pretty good map.
This seems like you were just trying to do what you'd already done.
Did you see the animation on that arrow, though? That was pretty good, man. That
sweet
was high
animation.
Quality. Watch it.
With a nice swipe.
We were in India.
Whoa.
Over half of that time.
You're going.
I decided, we got to get out of here, so we made a quick beeline out of India to the closest place that we knew was clean.
Ooh, wow, dots.
I was much more succinct back in the day. Gosh, I got all wordy.
Okay, so we're in Dubai, and we don't really have any place. We're in the airport, and we don't know really how to get into town, or we don't know where we're.
Yeah,
I do have a strong feeling, not exactly about the details of this, but I do really remember this moment of finally getting to something and being like, all right, though, this is the path that you've chosen for getting better. Figure it out.
I think it's funny too because we jumped out of India because it was really difficult for us at that time. We were having a hard time and it was just chaos. And we just jumped into something else with no planning and no book or no information. Remember, I always have to say this. We didn't have a smartphone. That wasn't a thing then, to the degree at which it is now. Mm. So we couldn't just look up on the internet and be like, oh, well, let's get an Uber to the place. None of that existed. This was pre-civilization.
We don't have a guidebook. We didn't have any idea what the conversion rate was. We kind of randomly took money ATM, hoping we don't end up with $1 million. I think we did okay with that. But basically, we need to come up with a guidebook, and we need to come up with a place to stay. So this should be an interesting evening. But it's only like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, so we've got plenty of time to figure it all out. On the way in, you could see the skyline of the city, though, and it was pretty epic, and looking out over the desert and stuff. So it's completely different than anything we've ever seen. So we're pretty excited.
I saw the desert for the first time.
So this is also, I think this whole sequence that's taking place is this proof that everything just works out. Like, so many things had to line up for all this to work. Because, like, we didn't have internet. We didn't have a device to get on internet, and like all this stuff. And then we met Eason, and like she let us use her phone or something so we could book. Like, just like all the sequence of events that just all transpired. Ramadan was happening while we were here. Actually, we were there during Ramadan. I don't know if I really would want to go back to Dubai. You say it's better. I don't really think that is a great place.
I think that if I was going to go anywhere, I'd either go back to Oman or I'd go to another country in the area to just go, holy crap. It's that whole area, much like India, much like, I wouldn't say Asia at this point because I've seen a lot of Asia, but that whole area just has a vibe all its own. It has treasures that I know I'm just going to be shocked about or delighted that I found them, and you can only have them there. You can only have them there, and you can only have them when you're on the ground. And every place has those things. A lot of those treasures I've already found in this region of the world and in the region of the world that I'm from, but in the middle there, in that little area, there's nooks and crannies. Yeah.
Hadn't seen desert. Well, there's a difference between seeing some desert, like driving through, like, California or something.
I ain't never seen that.
And then seeing Dubai. Like, deserts outside of Dubai are, like, serious.
There were dunes.
There were camels on the dunes, my dude.
Okay, so we have, God, it's hot out here.
It was August.
Yeah.
We have got a metro, and we found a metro, and we got a map, and the map is in Arabic, so we can't read it.
So we didn't even know that they had a metro until we got there. So this was all like, we were all I remember discovering all this stuff. I remember we went up to somebody at the airport, like at an information booth. We were like, we need to get to a place to buy a book or something. And like, they were like, well, you just get on the metro and go into the city. It's not a big deal. We're like, oh, there's a metro. Ah, cool. That's information we didn't have until just now.
We found a mall, and the mall will hopefully have a bookstore in which we can get a guidebook so we can find a place to sleep. And just coincidentally, the exit we happen to just pick to come out of is right in front of the tallest building in the world.
I remember how happy you were about this. You were just
wild, dude.
So happy.
It's one of the coolest things I've seen. And I mean, like, it's not necessary. We don't need to have these things, but at the same time, it's just like to walk out and see. It is astonishingly big.
It just looks like liquid. I don't know, when I think about it, it just looks like liquid, but I know that it comes from the ground and goes up. Like, it's almost as if you're on the, I know that the gravity is supposed to like go this way, but it's almost like the gravity's really going that way and it's just dripping
It's like
off.
a Mario Galaxy trick.
Yeah.
And it is just like so much bigger than you think it is when you see it in real life, especially then. Maybe now things are built up around it. The more they build up around it, the less it'll look like ridiculously huge. It's kind of like how Mount Fuji sticks out above everything else because everything else around it is lower. If it was surrounded by big mountains, it wouldn't be quite as like, whoa, it's huge, but it's just like sticking straight up out of the nothing, and it goes up. It's just really wildly huge.
Ridiculous. So we are inside of the Dubai Mall, and it is almost brand new. And look at the ceiling. It's like lights, and they're blinking like the stars.
I wonder how much of this looks bad now.
See, this is a very, very, very,
or if they've updated it.
And then if you swing down, there's a fish tank that's about 40 feet tall. And you can go and walk through one of those like underwater tube things. There's a guy swimming in there feeding the fish.
You can't get farther away from India right now.
Yeah, this is a striking change. So this is a giant I guess it's about 40 foot again.
That's pretty cool.
Maybe even taller than that, waterfall. And if you look way over here, it's going there as well. They've done this place up pretty nice. So it's been a year since we've seen this Taco Bell.
You remember when we made that video and I just sat there chewing for a while? We're gonna do it again. Oh my god. Sour cream. I forgot what sour cream was like. I recently talked about how sour cream is the highlight. It's the highlight of like a meal. And if you fucked it up, I don't even know how you do that, but someone did. And I appreciate that sour cream done by the Taco Bell.
Yeah, but you don't go to Taco Bell in Japan. Have you ever had Taco Bell in Japan?
Twice. But usually if there's a Taco Bell option, I'm always like, this could be better.
Yeah, it's true. Tap water is warm to moderately hot in the Sunless Bayfoot. Yeah, we know. We were there. We're aware. The tap water here comes out hot sometimes. Like when I take showers now.
A chill bill for the water?
Until you pay chill, they gotta cool it down.
They actually do. I'm not trolling. Yeah, I had to read that last bit to believe the situation.
Here's that building again, but at night, it is really ridiculously big, like ridiculously large. Okay, so we have been in some hot places before, but I don't know. This might take the cake. It's like 110 degrees outside, and it's just humid and thick, and you can just feel where the wind blows. It blows hot air across you. It's like a blow dryer hitting you. It's insane. I mean, Borobudur in Indonesia was really hot. Thailand and Bangkok gets pretty damn hot, but Jesus, this is some brutal, brutal heat. There is like nobody outside. People just stay inside. We are headed for a mall, and I'm watching the lens of the camera fog up just from the heat. This is special.
I don't know if we're gonna.
What's up with all of your videos ending with?
I don't know. What you want me to say?
It was more of a joke.
The other thing is that there's all these like migrant workers. I don't know, migrant workers is the right word. I don't know what the correct terminology is, from like India and Nepal and stuff, and they're like outside working in the heat, building all these structures that like are just kind of insane to even have existing. And it's during Ramadan, so like for anybody that's not aware, you're not allowed to eat and drink during the daylight hours, essentially.
Even if you're not a practitioner.
Even if you're not practicing the religion.
It is, I guess, because it's the national religion, and therefore it is enforced in all areas of the country.
Yeah.
Unless no one's watching, and you better hope no one's watching.
And inside the malls, while we were there were areas inside of one of them where they would block off.
You could go behind a curtain, and they had like tables set up, and you could eat in that area, but you're not allowed to eat anywhere else.
Yeah, so like they'll have all these people like out in these construction workers, and they live out in the desert in basically slave-like conditions, and then they go into the city to build these huge structures or whatever, and they just have to deal with the heat, and they can't like drink water or eat food the entire time. It's just completely nuts. You see all this stuff that are crazy. Workers were treated like slaves with some in the past. Since 2020, it's gotten better. I can't speak to that like intelligently, so I'll just have to take your word for it. But yeah, I don't know. It's jacked up.
Okay, so we're in a mall, the same mall we were in yesterday, actually, and it is Ramadan, so this is the food court.
Oh.
They've got these.
Yeah, we ate at that Taco Bell after dark.
Yeah, it was after dark. Yeah.
And you can only eat in certain areas because, I mean, it is strictly prohibited to eat in public here during Ramadan and during the waking hours between the sun coming up and the sun going down. So you can see you're not even allowed to eat here. You have to go back around this corner to eat. And here is the area that the heathens are allowed to have their food at. How crazy is that? And then we have this.
It looks like a Winamp plug-in.
Mm-hmm.
And here is a ice rink.
What?
Inside the mall.
We did it. I got pictures of you on skates.
We went to that one.
I don't think so. We went in Abu Dhabi.
Okay, yeah, okay. I didn't think it was this one because it didn't have like a huge upper area.
There's also a theme park. You can hear a roller coaster going. And yeah, this mall's pretty spectacular.
So I was looking at this really windy part of the map that's called the Treasury, and still don't know what's in here, but we walked in here and this is what it looks like. Looks like a casino.
Yeah, it looks like a casino or something in Disneyland or something, but yeah, a casino.
Little room, and then there are camels over here and camels.
I don't think those are real.
It's just gorgeous, and we've taken a moment just to sit and enjoy the fountain and the ceiling and the ambiance.
So this is a chicken Big Mac, and it's more of just a straight up chicken sandwich with like, mayonnaise, as opposed to the chicken Big Mac
two
that we have
patties.
in India, which is really
Double chickens, baby.
spicy and completely different from anything you've
Like that my brain went, that's excessive.
It's like eating two chicken sandwiches, one on top of the other. So we've come with our friend Ise, and she helped us book our hotel room a couple nights ago. We just met her in a mall.
We'll talk about that more, I think, unless we just address it in the video.
And she has driven us across Dubai, and we are now kind of everything here is super modern looking, but we are in the super, super modern part of it. And
Shit just looks like South Carolina.
Miami or something, where all the expensive cars and stuff are driving up and down the strip, and the water is right here. And if you have ever seen the palm tree islands, those are just right out over here, and you can see them. She said she used to live up in one of these buildings. She could watch the construction take place.
Oh,
And
cool.
we're just looking for a cafe or something to get a coffee or a tea. And she is
Yeah, Heather, there are some people who are able to eat during Ramadan. That's true.
educating us about the region and about her home country of Turkey, which has been really, really interesting. And it's been really cool to hang out with her and just get an insider's view into what is going on here in the UAE. So this is the largest metro system in the world that is an automated system, as in there's no driver. As in
But that's not true anymore.
I'm standing where the driver would normally be. And that's pretty typical of the UAE and Dubai. See if we can make the biggest of X. As we're traveling through different countries, crossing the street changes in every country you go to, like the method. Like in Japan, for instance, it's kind of an extreme. Like if you're near the curb, anywhere, even if it's like not in a crosswalk, and a car sees you, it just stops. Like it's like it assumes, oh, the pedestrian is coming out, I'm stopping. It's like super, super polite like behavior from the drivers. In places like India or Thailand or Indonesia, where traffic is more like water, you just kind of go whenever.
Did we ride the Palm Island monorail? I think it's possible it might not have existed when we were there. This was 2010, so.
As of August 2022, it was still the world's longest
Interesting.
driverless rail system. I
maybe
don't
there's
know
one-
what
how do you-
list of semi-automatic train systems.
And then like also like
means.
maybe there's one with more stops or whatever.
Yeah,
like
or it's
more
like
lines,
more
like how do you
pervasive, like
More per person riding it, blah blah blah. Is
Yeah.
that still the Japanese method? Yeah, kind of. I mean, drivers here are pretty courteous, but you do have times where they won't stop for you. I'm speaking from a month of experience in Japan rather than 12 years now or whatever. So of course I'm going to have a different, like a little more data now. But I'm not totally, I wouldn't completely disagree with that perspective of somebody who had only been in Japan for a month. I'd be like, okay, I see why you see that.
Whatever you want and just float your way through, and everybody steers around you, and it's no big deal. In places apparently like the UAE, where everybody has giant fast cars and they drive somewhat aggressively, they tend to try to run you down. You feel like if you step out and a car is coming and like, you have enough time to get across the road, they will accelerate to make it awkward or make you have to rush out of the way. So we have recently been in Japan, and then we went to India, where of course you can walk right off the street anywhere and make your way across. But here you feel like you're being hunted.
I noticed looking at a lot of the pictures when I was going through this to collect them for what we'll show in a bit. Mm-hmm. Almost everything we did, like all the timestamps, started at like 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m.
Yeah.
We just wouldn't go outside.
Mm-hmm. I remember that being an active choice. Like we would have food and we'd eat at the hotel and we'd relax at the hotel. And then we were like, we're just going to end up staying out late and living our lives like that because we had the opportunity and like we could shift our time that way.
We were also recuperating a bit. I'm not that interested in going to Saudi Arabia. I'm not that interested in like doing it as a sponsorship from the country. I don't know about that.
Okay, so for the past 5 minutes we've been sitting here, and
wow,
a fire alarm is going off, and the recording that you can barely hear is saying,
I was getting kids meals around the world at McDonald's to see what toy you got.
That a fire has been reported in the building, and nobody cares. Nobody has moved. Nobody is blinking. Everybody seems a little annoyed with the sound, but like even the employees, they don't care. So what's the purpose of a fire alarm that goes off that nobody at all even pays attention to?
I'm trying to get a burger.
This whale, how does he feel about this? Let's see what he's up.
He likes water, not fire.
I have a lot of friends that smoke hookahs in the States, and this...
Has that trend died? Do people still smack the hookah?
I don't think that
Did they all start vaping?
Well, Jesse did, yeah, but I don't know if people stopped going to like hookah bars. I still think it's like probably, I see it as like a coming of age thing between like 18 and to 25, like that kind of area. It has a club vibe, but like a relaxed feeling to it, where you can actually have a moment and it's not all bumping and grinding big bass.
You barely see locals. Yeah, I mean, the population of Dubai is almost all foreigners, and the locals are doing rich people shit. They're not hanging out with the scrubs at McDonald's.
It's pretty miraculous looking of a building.
Looks cool.
So I'm kind of comparatively in the shady side of town, and I just saw a man selling like pornographic DVDs, like kind of in a back alley a little bit, like hidden. That's really weird to be selling something like that in a country that blocks like everything on the internet, and you're not allowed, like, a public, like you kiss somebody in public, and like that's a big problem, like you can be arrested for it. So seeing somebody selling something with actual like pornographic images on it just on the side of the street is definitely not something I expected to see here. But I guess the world is a vampire. Here's an awkward moment in time. I'm in a bathroom stall in a mall eating because it's Ramadan and they don't have...
What if they had come and knocked on the door and told you you're in trouble? Somebody reported you.
I think you're okay because like nobody can see you.
What if you're not?
I don't know.
What if you don't know the rules, and the rules are if somebody
abroad.
Can smell that burger outside of the trough, you're in trouble.
You'd be locked up abroad.
You know how you were talking in some video about how when the water hits your butthole and you pee at the same time using the washlet, feels like it's just going through. Is this a situation where you're pooping, you're eating and pooping, and
yeah,
it's
it
just
would feel
going
like
through?
that. Why did we do it? It was Ramadan, and you're not allowed to eat in public unless you're like, covered or whatever, and we didn't have any way to hide ourselves.
You need a curtain.
Anything blocked off for people not to be able to see you. So I ordered me my burger, which is for takeaway only. You're intended to have to take it home. And I'm sitting here.
Looks rather clean.
and such is life here in the UAE.
Meanwhile, Katie was in another bathroom eating her burger.
The Food Bureau of Investigation.
Okay, so we went to Hatta. We'll have to see where that is.
Friend Eason, and we went out to Hatta, which is about an hour and a half drive away from Dubai.
Okay, so I was wrong. Okay, so we did cross the border, but we didn't go into that little enclave-exclave thing. So we crossed into Oman and then back out of Oman. There's like nothing out there though. It's all like empty.
On the way there, we got to see this amazing scenery that just changes. Like it goes from flat sand to big mountains of sand dunes and then rocky terrain.
I remember not feeling well that day.
5 minutes, you look out the window and it's a completely different world. That was
So again, it was Ramadan, and we were in the car with her, and we were in the city. She was like, "You can't even drink water in the car right now." So she
I remember
was
we
like,
got to some point on the highway, and she said, like, looked around, and she was like, "Okay, I think you're good now."
like you can now drink water and stuff.
And when cars went by, I made sure that I wasn't doing anything that they could see.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to get.
I don't know if we would have gotten in
trouble.
like legal trouble, but it might have been more like just like insulting
They're
or
gonna take my
something.
food.
Something. Yeah. Gonna snatch your toilet burgers.
just astonishing.
So we have traveled from Dubai, 100 kilometers, to Hatta. And in Hatta we were going to go to this heritage village over here, but they told us it's closed, so we can't go. On the way here we did get to slip in and out of Oman, which was pretty cool. We gave a powerful wave the first time, but they shot us down the second time and made us roll the window down. But other than that, it's warm outside.
So even though the Heritage Village in Hatta was closed when we got there, we were parked essentially directly in front of this watchtower that is apparently from the 18th century. So we climbed up to it, and on the way up, we found the remains of a animal we can only assume was a bunny. And to be honest, like the drive out to Hatta and the drive back was the amazing part. Hatta itself, I mean, it didn't matter that what we went to see was closed. It was just stunning to see the scenery.
We love zooming through things. Yeah, I definitely didn't feel good that day. I remember watching you go up to the watchtower, and I was just like, you're only going to be here once. So I remember doing it rather slowly and just getting up there.
It took you longer to recover from India than it did for me. Like you were more worn down and like, ugh.
I don't know if I was more worn down or if it just hit me later in India than it hit you. And therefore it took the same amount of time. I was just in a different place by that time. That's what I had thought. We're on the side of the road in the desert. And I have just spotted me a camel.
Sorry about the wind. No wind protection on old cameras. Wow. Look at them.
They're amazing looking.
Humpy boys.
They kind of blend in, but you can see this character here. He is staring right at me. And this is definitely an environment I have never, ever been in before.
You think the gate was to keep the camels in?
Yeah.
It's like a camel area?
Yeah, I mean, those camels aren't their own camel. Somebody owns those camels.
What? I thought all camels in the desert were their own camels.
No, I think that's like somebody's land, and they like their camels go there and hump around on the sand.
Only on that sand and not other sand because they can't get out of that area.
I think it's to keep them off the road. You don't want to hit a camel with a Lamborghini. Oh, fuck up your camel.
About to have a fucked up Lamborghini is what I was going to say. It's a strong camel.
It's for donations. Like specifically. Donations based on, in Islam, donations for things is kind of a big deal, or it's supposed to be. And this is a way to electronically give money, I guess. I suppose they don't give it their mosque or something, and I guess this is a way for it to get fed into the needy. But this seems like a real good way to just make a bunch of free money, is to set one of these machines here up and be.
Yeah. Who's policing these donations?
Especially being right next to an ATM.
It doesn't look too legit.
No, it looked a little bit funny.
All right, that was episode number 1. There's all the we learned all these like little interesting tidbits from our friend Eason. She'd explain things to us, and then we also made some friends in Oman and learned some things there about like how like in Islamic countries they don't use, you can't get interest like from your bank. I guess I again, this is like secondhand 10 years ago, but like banks don't give interest because like it's like it doesn't jive with some of the rules of the religion. So they give gifts instead. So you'll get like maybe points or something, or like you can redeem gifts if you have a certain amount of money for a certain amount of time. There's all these like little quirks like that. But we didn't talk about her. There are banks that have interest and others don't. You mean like that? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Again, we aren't experts. It's just like some of the little things that we understood. So the things we are expert on are things that we did. So what ended up happening that night, we didn't talk about it very much in the video. We flew from India. We got to the airport. We had nothing. No book, no money, nothing like that. So we found an ATM, and that was no problem, thankfully. So that was easier than India. And then we talked to somebody about, like, we want to go get a book. Where's a mall? We figured out how a mall was a place someplace. And then, so then we asked somebody how to get to the mall, and they told us there's a metro. So we took their metro, it's like a monorail thing, like you saw on the thing. It's like this transportation method. So we got on that, and we went there, and then we walked out, and we saw the Burj Khalifa, and the mall is underneath the Burj Khalifa. And the Burj Khalifa, for anybody that's not aware, is the tallest building in the world. It still is. And like I pawned on about a minute ago, it's like ridiculously big. So we went in, and we just we're like, okay, we want to eat something that we are familiar with because we have been malnutritioned, and we just felt like we just needed to have comfort food, kind of like that was something important to us at the time. So we walked in, found the food court, and there was a Taco Bell. We were like, all right, there's a Taco Bell.
So hungry.
Yeah. And
I think we got the cinnamon twisties.
At the time,
I was a big fan of the cinnamon twisties as a little kid. So that was definitely a comfort thing for me. It
was the first time we'd had Taco Bell or even something in that area, and probably over a year at that point. So we're eating the Taco Bell in the food court. And I don't exactly remember. We had a computer with us, but maybe they didn't have Wi-Fi or something. I don't remember what we borrowed from Eason, or she let us use her computer or something. So there was this girl, a woman, like she's older than us by, I don't know, 5 or 10 years older than me. And she was just sitting there and I don't know how we started talking to her, but she's Turkish and she lived in Dubai, and she was she was working for Microsoft or something. So she was working for that type of industry, tech industry or something like that. And a lot of Dubai has tons of expats, foreigners working there. Most of the population is not local. Most of the people working there are from overseas. And there's basically different classes of those people. Some of the people are lower class from India, Nepal, lower educated people. And at the time it was a slave trade. It was bad. It's really bad. And then there's also these executive style people, because the government has got all these things set up so people companies can use that area as a tax haven, so they don't have to pay taxes and all this nonsense, all this corporate crap that goes on. So they'll have offices there. So Microsoft had an office there, and she worked for the office in Microsoft office in Dubai doing whatever it was that she did. She was just hanging out there having dinner or whatever, and we just started talking to her, and she was cool. And something happened. We were eating, and then we were like, okay, we got to figure out a place to stay. We didn't have a hotel or anything. So somehow we interfaced with her. Maybe we used her phone or her computer or her internet. Maybe she had a Wi-Fi hotspot or something. I don't exactly remember what it was that we borrowed from her, but she helped us. And we ended up finding a hotel to stay in, which we might show in later videos. It was
chilly.
Yeah, but remember how loud it was?
It was loud, and there were cockroaches.
Yeah, and
so I named him Threezy.
Then we ended up leaving her, but getting her contact information, and then leaving the mall and everything, and we couldn't find the hotel. I remember it being really confusing, and remember, no smartphones, no GPS, nothing like that, but we had a map or something. And I remember getting lost, and then you talked to a local. A dude who was I
remember getting into somebody's
he was
car.
From Dubai, and he had the white dress thing, the dressing that they wear.
Yeah, and I remember a fish fountain of some sort.
Yeah, we have a picture of a fish fountain.
All of it was just weird and strange. I think we were just way past exhausted.
Yeah.
And none of it made sense. And I was just so tired. And I just popped into that train of thought, like, let somebody else figure this out. And somebody else figured it out. And he gave us a ride to the hotel, and it was fine. But it was a little nerve-wracking because you didn't know if you could trust people.
Yeah, but I mean, this probably isn't completely, totally accurate thing to say. But all the experiences we had in the Middle East, if somebody helped you, they were super honest. Like, not the tourism industry. If you got involved with the tourism industry, which would be probably fine here, but in Egypt. But like, think about like that guy. When you'll see this in the future when we watch this and us watching us. When we got to Jordan, and that taxi driver gave us a ride and wouldn't we didn't have any money. He just gave us a ride for free. Like people will help you if their job isn't to scam you. Does that make sense? But yeah, this was one of those times where this guy just saw somebody that needed a hand and he gave us a hand. And he helped us find the hotel. And then I remember it being a big clusterfuck to check in. It took like hours. Like there was some nonsense. I can't believe we didn't talk about all this.
Oh yeah, I guess
it was like a huge mess, and like they didn't have the booking, or there wasn't like somebody there, or a fax didn't happen or something. I don't remember, but it was a big long wait, and we didn't actually get into our room until like really late. And that
I kind of remember it. I remember sitting in some room, in some like lounge thing, waiting. But
for just
other
ages.
than that, I don't remember what.
I think
happened.
we had to make a phone call. Like get our laptop out and use Google Voice to call something or something. I remember it just being really frustrating.
And usually I'm pretty quick to tell you if I fucked something up. So, or if I figure out that I fucked it up, I would definitely tell you.
No. I don't think it was that. I think it was something about maybe the credit card got denied or something like that, and we had to straighten that out. I don't remember exactly what the deal was, but it was a thing. Anyway, we got a couple more episodes here, and okay, 2 more from Dubai and then 2 from Abu Dhabi.
Oh, didn't plug back
in. Do you remember what that is?
That phallic-looking thing just coming out?
Don't look at the bottom right.
I don't remember.
It's a ski. That's where we went skiing. It's a ski slope.
A ski tube. Ski tube. Gotcha.
Oh, wait. Did I change the thing? I didn't change the thing, did I? Sorry,
Was it
guys.
cheaper to make it a tube instead of just like a whole building with a tube in it?
I don't know. Yeah, okay, so I'm talking about this thing. It's a ski slope inside of a mall.
Called Ski Dubai, where they have literally built a ski slope inside of a mall. You can see it in this video a little bit. We're off in the distance from where it's actually at, but you can see how
it's an interesting shot
into the sky a bit.
I filmed this when we were coming back from the Musadan Peninsula with Jim and Nadia.
Really, really bizarre. So we have been traveling for exactly 1 year today, and we are going skiing in Dubai.
So it would have been September 1st, probably, something like that.
We are in a mall where there's a ski slope, a big ski slope.
I think this was a really good choice of something to do that was just really remarkable for the day and for the place. And
keep in mind, it's 110, 115 degrees Fahrenheit outside.
I wonder how much it was to rent gloves, because we should have done that. We did not rent gloves.
Did we need them?
I needed them. I was falling down a lot because I hadn't skied in a long time.
Yeah, you've only skied once, right? Like twice in your life, and you chose to ski during this. You should have just snowboarded. Is what should have happened.
It would have been just as bad, I think. I didn't have the skills I have now.
I remember you being a little grumpy this day.
Yeah. My hands got really cold, and I just didn't feel comfortable. I didn't do the proper stuff to make the experience as good as it could have been. And I think regardless of if I had chosen a snowboard or the snowboard probably would have been even worse because I would have been embarrassed because I'd been snowboarding for so long and my techniques were not good. So choosing the skis probably made me a happier person, even though I might have been physically grouchy because I was cold.
We're at the midpoint, and you can see it goes quite a ways up, and then it goes about that far down. And this is the first time Katie's been on skis in 10 years. So I've given her a quick lesson, pizza and french fry. And this is the first time she's gone down a run, so this should be interesting. And it's really cold in here, and that's funny because it's over 100 degrees outside, which is just madness. So Katie is coming down the hill again. This is her third run, and
You're doing your french fries.
The first time she's ever skied, and she didn't hit the sign.
Yeah, the snow is terrible there.
She made it all the way down without falling. She only fell on her first run, so she's doing very good.
This is terrifying. I almost went off that jump.
I saw.
That was so scary.
Okay, so Katie is now on her own. She is staying at the midpoint of the mountain. Mountain. She is not quite confident enough yet to go all the way up.
This looks so wide. I should have gone up there.
It was really steep and icy.
I bet she should be up here by the end of the day.
She wasn't.
That down there is the midpoint.
I think I have good judgment about what I can and cannot do when it comes to these things. Like, I don't move up until I feel confident, and I certainly didn't. With snowboarding, it's really easy to stop, but like icy and whatnot, I probably would have thought the same thing. No, I'm not going up there.
It seems like a lot of wasted energy to keep them. I kind of agree with you, but I mean, you could say that about the entire city.
And this up here is the uppermost top point, and it is cold in here. It is like below freezing by quite a bit, and we don't have gloves. They don't provide you with gloves. They make you buy them at an extraordinary rate, so we're just dealing with it.
That's why we didn't do it.
And it's pretty frosty on the hands.
How much does extraordinary mean? And did you get to keep them, or were they rentals?
You said buy them.
And
I
then
said buy them.
I could have been rolling around with my
Dubai gloves.
Dubai gloves. I got these in Dubai, and people would be like, "What the fuck?"
It's like Vegas or Times Square. I think Vegas might be worse than Times Square.
But Katie fell a couple times, so she got her hands covered in snow. So
it costs nothing. I love how Dubai. Whenever Dubai comes up, it gets really people divisive. You know, they make oil so nearby, so it costs nothing to burn it. Yeah, but I mean, what is the cost of the planet?
That's pretty detrimental to her enjoyment, but I think she'll do all right. This is pretty insane to be in a desert skiing. Dubai is an odd place.
So I've been snowboarding probably not very well for 8 years now, and this is probably my second time in my life ever going skiing, and I went skiing before the age of 10, so I don't have much experience, and this has been terrifying. I don't know really what the difference is between the fear of snowboarding and the fear of skiing, but not having my feet together feels weird, and trying to figure out how to stop with 2 feet is weird. It's just been, I've had my adrenaline pumping for the straight last hour. It's been crazy. And I know that that's odd because most people are like, snowboarding seems scary, but really, to me, skiing is terrifying.
So I guess the question that everybody has that skis is, how is the snow? And it feels better than you would expect. But it's not slushy at all. It's almost icy, but it's not like super sheets of ice. It's not it's not like you can't dig into it or anything. So it's actually not bad. It's better than I expected it to be, but it's not like skiing in like fresh powder or anything, clearly. The lighting is kind of weird though, because it makes it really difficult, like whatever color fluorescent lights they're using, it makes it difficult to see terrain. So when you're moving really quick, it's cold in here, so your eyes water up a little bit because I don't have goggles. And then when you have the lighting, makes it especially difficult to determine if you're going to hit like something, a change in the way the slope is or anything. So, I mean, after 2 runs, you're going to memorize this little slope, but the first couple runs is a little intimidating.
Is that?
Eric skis
Oh, okay.
flare. I'm very jealous. I can't do it. Look at that.
Just got a pizza and French fry, baby.
I think now that I have figured out how to snowboard properly and forced myself to actually like do all the things you're supposed to do, just watching what you do, I kind of feel like I'd have a better flow for it now.
You can try skiing sometime. But is that a waste of time?
I think like if I had a season's pass or,
Yeah,
it's like the end of the day and
you're
it's
only
really
gonna go
easy to
once a
swap
year,
them out
twice a
and
year.
you're just stuck at the bunny slope and they don't mind giving you another set. Like you can just swap them out. Well, fuck it, we'll do the bunny slope for a little while. End of the day type stuff. Or maybe end of the day. Do you have the energy for that?
No. You should do it at the beginning of the day. I'll keep that in mind next time I'm in Dubai. I want to get a prizy.
Wait, who's getting what?
He said it's like the prize. I don't know. Dubai facts.
So 2 minutes ago, we were in 0-degree weather in the ski slope, freezing to death. And we have just now walked out into the steamy hotness.
Look at the camera.
The camera is so fogged up. Look, I'm looking at Katie right now, but you probably can't even tell. It's a really strange feeling because it's 110 degrees out here. And it was 0 degrees there, so like our hands are really cold. I can just feel it's a really strange sensation.
My butt's real cold.
You need a butt pad, girl. You'll learn.
Part of the problem with it is that the clothing they give you is only like waterproofing. It doesn't actually give you any like warmth. So
I think we only did it for like an hour or 2 hours or something like that.
I think it was
wasn't
just
very
1
long.
hour.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine us being in there for 2 hours.
you're very, very cold almost the whole time. So the 2 hours that you get for your admission is plenty.
2 hours.
Especially considering it's not the most exciting set of runs in the world.
Yeah.
So
That was a good squeak.
slope that we were on, and as you can see, it is very much connected to a mall. It's in a mall.
Yeah, I would say that in that type of environment, that prostitution is probably not being done in the best circumstances.
It's about time that stuffed animals were life-sized.
It's your standard big boy right there.
Look at this. Look at this pony.
It's a boar.
No, that's a pony, Katie. Pony.
This feature here, it's not so bad.
Somebody made those.
Yeah.
So in a similar manner to the way Christmas is viewed in the West, Ramadan is very much like a festival of consumerism. And it's definitely not the spirit of the holy month in any leap or bound, but it's just what it's happened to it. Like when you walk around malls and stuff, you see the things like this. I mean, I'm in a grocery store and
Could have Heelys?
signs all over the place talking about the spirit of Ramadan, low prices, and so much more. It's lame the same way it's lame in the States with Christmas. So what you can hear there in the background is the mosque, and they're basically, I think what they're doing is reading out of the Quran, and it's kind of a sing-songy sounding way about going about it, and they broadcast it through like a loudspeaker, and almost all the mosques do something like this. And it was something we heard in Indonesia and in Malaysia, and obviously now here on the Arabian Peninsula, it's something they do. And when it's in the distance, it's really, really pretty. As you get closer to it, it gets harsh because of the way that it's broadcast. And if your hotel is next to it and this goes off when you're trying to sleep, it can be annoying as a Westerner.
They were reciting the Quran, but only during Ramadan outside. In Malaysia, they were definitely doing it when it was not Ramadan. Like, I don't know
Was
if they were making noise out of a speaker. Obviously, I don't know what was being said, but there was definitely in Malaysia and Indonesia, they were definitely doing like call to prayer stuff, and it would be like for 5 minutes, 5 times a day or whatever before that hour or whatever that everybody is supposed to go and pray.
But it is, when you're just walking around and you can hear it in the background, it's gorgeous sounding. It's really, really tranquil, especially coming in from the distance. And I also just got a haircut by the fanciest Filipino man on the planet. He was singing show tunes and dancing
Do you
around,
remember this?
I don't remember this at all, no.
and it was quite entertaining. So that was fun. So I'm quite a ways away from it, but the Burj Khalifa is in the distance, and that is, of course, the tallest building in the world.
I mean, see, like, look at how big the closest next thing is, and those buildings are closer.
And you can see it there looming over everything else. And I mean, these things here are big, huge, massive skyscrapers. And they're in about the same distance.
They're the same difference. I can't argue with Pasto's me. He
Are you
knows
sure?
better.
Towers over them by 2 or 3 times in height. It's just astonishing. This building is unbelievable. Okay, I know a constant topic of discussion here is temperature, but it is nighttime, duh, and it is, shoot, it's gotta be 9 o'clock, I guess? And the thermometer on my bag indicates it's 100 degrees. I mean, it's just as hot at nighttime as it is in the daytime, except you don't have the sun pounding on you, so it's tolerable. And it really does. The wind blows and it feels like somebody's hitting you with a blow dryer. It's so crazy. And it's very, very humid. And I guess that's what happens if you come to the Arabian Peninsula in August. Well, it's September now, so September 1st didn't make a difference from August 31st, though. So it is toasty. It is so hot that it's hard to convince yourself to go outside during the day and do anything, which sort of sucks. So that's why I'm kind of exploring right now at nighttime, because at least I'm not gonna cook. I don't feel like I'm going to die, and I can drink water because, you know, during Ramadan in the daytime you can't drink you can't open a bottle of water and drink it. Like, so
I gotta go to the toilet.
it makes going out in the daylight kind of difficult.
It's funny, I drink out of the toilet here. It's just been
Ew.
what?
The washlet?
Yeah, you drink out of the thing in the back? I tell you this all the time. You told me I tell you too much. Stop talking about it. And I'm telling you again. You're acting like it's new news. Come on now. You see me drink out of there. I come into the bed sometimes. Like, I go to the restroom. I drink out of the toilet. I come to the bed. You're in there, and I give you a kiss on the cheek, and my beard's got some water in it, and it gets the toilet water on your cheek.
Oh.
It's definitely a thing that's transpired. You're into it.
I think that I'm sleepy and weird things are happening that I don't understand.
So I'm not sure if all these Christmas lights are for Ramadan or if it's always here, but I kind of get the impression it's part of the celebration. And you can see up on this building up here, they've also draped some lighting on it. That's completely ignorant, so I mean, I'm just guessing, but I think it's for Ramadan. It's the type of, I've seen other types of things that are definitively for Ramadan that are similar to that, but perhaps that's up year round, I don't know. What makes Dubai very unique is that it's very, very, very ethnically diverse. It's something like 10% of the population is like native to the UAE, and everybody else is foreigners working here. Something like 40% of the population is Indian, and then, you know, the 40% there, the 10% of natives, and then the remainder is made up by just randomness. And there are Westerners here, and there are people from Europe, and there are people from all over the peninsula, and there are lots and lots and lots of people from Southeast Asia, and it's really, really, really diverse. Like, I thought the United States was the most diverse place in the world. It is tight runnings compared to this. It makes it really interesting to just people watch here, because there's so many different people dressed in so many different ways and doing so many different things, and it seems like it's all fairly harmonious. Like, I know that some of the lower paid people are unhappy with their wages and stuff, and I know that there is nothing perfect about it, but there doesn't seem to be any actual fighting going on or massive amounts of disrespect taking place. If there is, it's not in public eye. So, I mean, it's kind of neat in a way, and it's really neat to see lots of differences and lots of different people, and there's lots of different food. And aside from that, and I mean, I guess that's part of it too that makes it feel like it, but it really feels like America here. It's like you could almost fly here, get off the plane, and somebody could be like, oh, you're in, Arizona or someplace with a desert, and you could almost fall for it. There's little things that would tip you off, like the writing on this building, for instance.
It's probably not Arizona.
Notice you weren't that's not Arizona. But I mean, aside from that, like, there's big wide roads, there's American cars everywhere, there's a smorgasbord of different
It's interesting I mentioned the wide roads. It's very American.
types of people here, which is, I mean, that's very American. And there are chain restaurants, Burger King, Carl's Jr., Hardee's, Taco Bell. I'm looking at a Burger King right now, actually. And things like that. The grocery store here is exactly like going into an American grocery store. Like, everything is in there. It's just like American stuff. And things that would be considered imported here aren't super expensive. Like, you can get peanut butter and it's not ridiculously expensive. So, I mean, if you were to, like, move here as an American, it would be very, very little getting used to aside from the heat. So it really does feel like another state, to be completely honest, which is, I never ever would have expected that. And if we make our way into Oman, which I think we will in a week or so, I think that's going to look a lot different, but we'll see when we get there. I don't know what to expect. I kind of expect more real Arabian, and this is a little bit more westernized Arabian, but I mean, you never know until you get there. So Dubai is definitely interesting, and it's a very cool place to see, but I would not at all use the word exotic to describe it. I just got done making a video about how Dubai is not exotic and instantly turned the corner, and this odd looking building was there. I believe it's a mosque of some sort. But so there are some quirks.
Oh my gosh.
But
You're still like ice.
I know.
I told you not to do that.
You were wearing like three layers of clothes. Okay, so that was I think that was the last Dubai, or no? I've got one more. Oh, interesting. The way I talked at the end of that, it sounded like
it seemed like you were moving on.
Yeah, but nope.
So, being from the States, Ramadan is a phenomenon that we are not exposed to by any means prior to coming to Dubai. Like, restaurants look like this. There's a guy sleeping back there. All the restaurants are closed. There are several restaurants that have paid the government to allow them to do takeout orders, where you can take the food back to your place and you aren't allowed to eat it in public. Regardless of whether you own the food, you cannot consume it in public. You can't even drink water in public. So it's a little strange. Currently, where we're staying, there's a Pizza Hut quite close to us, and a McDonald's is a little bit farther away, and we have walked to both of those a couple times, and we're a little bored of McDonald's and Pizza Hut, and so we started walking to a mall that was across the street, but there's nothing.
The curtain thing started the year we were there. That's what our friend Easton told us. But it was only in that one mall, like the mall with Burj Khalifa. Like, she was like, yeah, this is the first year they put up these curtains and we can eat like behind the curtains, but it's only at this mall. So maybe that has just spread to different areas or whatever.
There, and now we're wandering around in the desert looking for a restaurant that will serve us food of really any type. I'm just hungry. And hopefully, in the mirage that is this desert, I might find a Krispy Kreme. We're at McDonald's, getting more McDonald's. Yeah, I think I would have been very disappointed with that situation. They give you bags.
This is one of those countries where, like, finding like local authentic food is not easy to do. It's not like in Japan you just walk down a street and you find a soba shop and go in. Like it wasn't like that. And I think there was a bit of, we were eating like American crap food just because we were so like overwhelmed from not having the India situation basically. No, we were trying to avoid Ramadan, but because we escaped India kind of in an emergency sort of, that's what drove us there. We were trying to wait until after Ramadan. That was the original plan, and then we were going to go. But we just didn't.
Better to deal with the hurdles than to deal with the
and honestly
health issues.
It sort of made it interesting as well. Like just the whole.
Yeah.
It is
I'm glad we got to experience something like this from our perspective, which was like skirting the rules and
eating in a toilet.
Yeah, but still, it was interesting to have a glimpse into that. I don't think it's something you understand unless you are in it, and I still don't think I really understand it because I didn't conform to it.
Yeah, we were there for Eid as well, I think. I don't remember exactly where, but we were definitely in the Middle East for it.
This big for Ramadan.
And now we're gonna walk in this oven back to our room and then hide until it gets dark out, and then maybe we'll go out and do something.
Man, those fries are getting bad.
No, they're not. They're still in the heater, baby.
Oh yeah.
We may not be able to go see the camel races in person, considering that it's way too hot outside, but there are camel races on the TV. Notice the camels are racing. On each camel's back, we have found out that there is a little robot that basically is their jockey.
Did you forget that?
Jockeys here that they would race, but people found out that these kids were being bought by the owners, and they deemed that to be pretty messed up. Here's a good shot. So the little robot you see on his back replaces the children that they used to buy to put onto the camels and race them. They would literally buy children, keep them malnourished so that they would be light on the camel's back and make them race the camels. It's pretty despicable, and once certain organizations found out about that, they exploited it so that it would stop. You'll see these buses that are also in the background. It's not in this shot right now, but in the buses are the owners of the camels who are also racing around the track, controlling the robots on the camel's back. It's pretty amazing.
It's so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's like a little robot, and it's got an arm with a whip, and like they push a button, and the whip like whap 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 whaps the camel.
Is that logo on the left a horse or a camel? Because it looks like a horse, and maybe they don't know what a camel looks like, or they really want you to think it's horses. Doesn't look like a camel.
It's so ridiculous. It's a drill that rotates the whip, yeah.
Due to the heat here in Dubai, it is now around 7 o'clock, and we are making our first appearance outside, aside from getting some Pizza Hut for dinner. We are taking a ferry.
I don't remember this at all.
To the other, and just checking out the scenery of.
I called it the creek.
I think it's called a Dubai. I think they call it that, the Dubai Creek.
What do you call this?
Dubai Creek.
Dubai Creek. Okay. The ferry just looks like this.
I don't remember this
It's
at
just a
all.
bunch of
Neither do I.
sitting back to back. And the side that we're leaving is not as eventful as the side that we are going to. Hopefully there's food over there though. In the UAE, we cannot afford to have our laundry done. They honestly want $30 to do our laundry, and it's not even the most laundry that we've ever taken to a place before and got done for like $6 or less. I think the $6 is like the highest we've really ever paid, and we grumble at that. So when the guy told us $30 to have our laundry done, we just kind of smiled and went our way. So we're doing the laundry in the bathroom. What you need is one heavy-duty plastic bag and some laundry detergent and water. So, come here. This is the laundry detergent that we have. We actually got it in Japan, and for one bag, you'll use half of one of these packets. So,
Some Katie shit right here.
You put all the laundry into the plastic bag. You put your laundry detergent in there and add water. You then shake it up a bit and you leave your laundry in there for a couple hours just to let it sit there and let the detergent do its business. And this is going to be really, really gross because it always comes out looking like this.
Wow.
That's rewarding looking.
Yeah, that's funk. So we're currently at
You need another
where we're going
wash
to
cycle,
take
girl.
everything and rinse it, and then we're going to put a bunch of water back into the bag and let it sit in the clean water for about an hour or so, and then we'll wring everything out, and Eric's going to show you how we hang up all of our stuff in this random hotel room.
Painty tree.
One thing I can show you in the bathroom is that they have this, and we've been hanging some clothes on that, but it's kind of freezing in our room. Like, the air conditioning
You just the agitation with your hands.
is really just out.
And what do you expect? Do you think there's going to be an agitator in the bag?
I am the agitator.
That's true.
Around 65 degrees in our rooms. It's kind of hard to dry clothes
I don't think you could take it outside. I think you couldn't open the windows.
that way. So go show them how we hang it up in the
Also, it might burst into fire.
So the reason that the air conditioning is so cold is because
Couldn't control it or something.
the knob, this guy, this doesn't work. So there's one in the hallway. So the sensor that tells the air conditioner in our room when to turn on and off is dictated by the temperature in the hallway, which is always cold. So it's really stupid. So like when you adjust it, it's either on or off essentially out in the hall. And you either always have the air conditioning on or it's
Oh, I
off and it gets
remember.
really hot.
Okay.
But anyways, the laundry. So we've got this line and we don't really know what it's for, but in the window.
Maybe it's for laundry.
Line up here. And maybe it's for laundry. Maybe we're just stupid, but we hang it in here.
Yeah, it was something like $30 a night or something, if I remember.
And inside of this window in the middle of the day, it's like 120 degrees. So it dries the clothes pretty dang fast. So that is our laundering situation, and we hold on to any plastic bags as long as we can because it's handy to be able to do laundry in them. And you can see she's just rinsing the soap out of the clothes, and then it will go back in there with a fresh, clean run of water, and then it'll just soak, and then tonight we'll come home and wring it.
This is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I get the shit done.
It's true.
Them out and then hang them in the window, and tomorrow we will have clean clothes.
Ish.
And honestly, this gets it cleaner than most countries we've had our clothes cleaned in.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you're comparing it to, like, when we were in Indonesia, we'd pay them, like, 50 cents to do our laundry, and they'd take it out into a river and bang it on a rock.
No, they put it in a plastic bag with half a packet. And then they watch it drain out and go, not so great.
I'm saying it right now. So, I swear I don't watch these.
Have you, like,
No.
evolved as a jokester at
No,
all?
same jokes. But it's not a joke, that happened.
Yeah, true.
Which is seriously how some of our clothes have been washed in the past.
Exactly. See?
It's not a joke.
It's because they're not washing it in a river against rocks. Which is seriously how some of our clothes have been washed in the past. So like I've said in the past,
Oh, yeah.
driving here is nuts. Like people
That's the fish fountain.
very, very, very aggressive, like lead-footed aggressive. And there's lots of roundabouts, like I'm in a roundabout right now, like we're dead in the center of it with these fish. And like when you cross the roads, like even if you have a walking sign, cars like accelerate and aim for you, like they're trying to run you down. It's crazy. So we just walked across behind where like this cab here was sitting. We walked behind it. It has a red light for it, and there was no traffic coming. And the cab that was sitting at a red light got in. He put his car in reverse and tried to back over us. No shit. Like, he was trying to go somewhere else, but...
I don't think he was cognizant that we were behind him, but he was not paying fucking attention. He got some really bad stares and almost got in a fist fight with Eric because Eric was so pissed off. Like, the last time that I had to tell somebody watch out because somebody was going to run over him in reverse, I don't know if I've really ever had to do that.
I mean, I realize it's a coincidence that he was just happened to be backing up, but it's just funny given the aggressive nature of the driving. So we're down at the Dubai Marina, and all of this has been dug by man, like by hand, or by machine, obviously. Not in Lao, they have...
Oh, no. By Indians.
And probably Indians using machines, but...
And the reason that they've done this is to enhance the amount of waterfront view that all of these buildings have, because if you have a waterfront view for an apartment, you can charge more for it. So over the time that it's going to take to...
I think their lights blink yellow.
Pay off the apartments and everything, it'll pay...
Could just be white,
it could be,
but...
Yeah, I think the camera, this is the white balance, it's all jacked up.
Pay for the digging of the trench. And then some. So it's been a wise business decision, even though it seems a little peculiar to just dig giant trenches.
Yeah, the waterfront thing is such a scam, and it ruins, it just fucks everything up. It's really bad.
And then there's this building right here, and it may be difficult to tell, but it is twisted.
I have a photo of it, I'll show you guys later.
And it is really, really weird looking, especially when you're almost right underneath of it. It just seems like it's going to tumble over. It's pretty amazing. So we've kind of walked away just to see up close of this building. It's been a rewarding payoff.
Yeah, it's just like architecturally, they made it interesting looking at twists. It's cool looking.
Flip side to Ramadan and all the complaining we've done about how you can't eat at certain times and stuff, which I guess we only sort of complained, but we've mentioned it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that statement. Not very much complaining, more just describing and showing our efforts to, like...
Yeah.
Take care of ourselves.
Yeah, burgers in the toilet.
It's 12:05 or something, at night, and here we are in a mall, and everything's. I mean, it's getting ready to close. I think it officially closes at 12:30, but that does make up for the.
Yeah, the whole region actually kind of operates on a later time scale than other parts of the world do. So that was what we saw, like all over the Middle East. Like things are just like open later. People eat a little bit later for dinner or whatever, and then I think Ramadan kind of pushes it into overdrive.
You can't go and do anything in the middle of the day because everything is closed and it's 1,000 degrees outside.
And nobody wants you to eat.
And nobody wants you to eat, yes.
Our time in Dubai has been spent 3 different ways. The first way was recuperating from India. I spent about our first 4 days still trying to get over whatever was going on in my intestines that India had served to me. So we finally got done with that with the help of a pharmacist who gave me some prescription drugs without a prescription, which worked out pretty nicely. So I'm doing much better now. Secondarily, we stay in the room pretty much during the day because it is hot outside. I mean, I'm talking like 111 degrees. That's the high for tomorrow. So it's really hot outside, and when the sun is out, the 5-minute walk to the metro is ridiculous. But once you get past that, you can go to a mall or two, but really, there's really nothing to do at the malls after a couple of hours. So we'd spend our days kind of just hanging around, watching television, eating food inside our room since we can't eat food in public. So that's another thing that keeps us in. But the third thing was, at nighttime we would go out and enjoy the sights and sounds of Dubai and go and visit with our friend Eason and just have a good time at night, because at night it's only 90.
Oh yeah, we went to dinner with her one time too while we were there. Yeah, we had a meal with her. We like by the water.
7 degrees outside. So it's a little bit better. Dubai has been pretty great to us. I think it's been a good time. Basically being able to recover and not feeling like we're really wasting a whole lot of time, because there's not a million things to do in Dubai, but it's a good place to be.
And then...
Bye-bye, Dubai.
Bye-bye, Dubai. So then we ended up going to, of course, still in the same country, just a different province, state. I don't know what they're referred to as. I can't remember right now. We went down to Abu Dhabi. And my understanding of Abu Dhabi is it's a lot more conservative And Abu Dhabi is actually where all the money is. Like, they have oil money, but Dubai does not, to the degree that when they were building the Burj Khalifa, the economy crashed, like the 2008 financial crisis happened, and because of the repercussions of that, Dubai didn't have enough money to finish building the building. Like, they had to borrow money from Abu Dhabi, who has oil wealth. And then under the like the Abu Dhabi government was like, you have to name it after our ruler. Like, some political person in Abu Dhabi's name is Khalifa or something, and they were like, yeah, you got to use this name. Because it was going to be called like Dubai Tower or something before that, but because they had to borrow a bunch of money to finish it, so like there's not like real money in Dubai, or there wasn't at the time, but Abu Dhabi had oil money. So, but I get the impression there is a bit of a difference culturally. Yeah, and Abu Dhabi is also the capital. It's way more conservative. Yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah, so I'm not totally off base. Yeah, so then anyway, we went there and we ended up, this was the first time we couch surfed.
This was the first time?
I think we found out about couch surfing from Noel when we were in India. I think he told us about it. And that's how we discovered it. So this was the first time that we ended up couch surfing, and we ended up staying with an American couple who was living in Abu Dhabi. He was working as he was like a construction person. Like, he was like running construction sites for some company, and he was like an American dude, just like he was a standard American dude.
To me, when I remember him, like a born and raised country boy with a little bit of slapstick to him. Yeah. Like, that's how I remember this, like, blonde hair, blue eyed.
Wait till you see this ginger motherfucker.
Is he ginger?
Yep.
Oh shit.
But they were really cool.
In my head,
I don't think they were married, but they probably told the people there they were married. I don't remember.
I think they did.
Yeah. So anyway, we ended up staying with them, and it was just a couch surfing thing. It was like one of the first times we did it, and like I said, the first time we did it. And they lived in this like crazy apartment that had like servants' quarters and stuff. Like, it was like ridiculous. And we ended up staying there for a couple of days. They were busy while we were there, but then at the end of the weekend they went camping, and they were like, hey, why don't you just come with us? And that's how we ended up, and that'll be coming next week. So we're going to go all the way into that. So this will just be the time that we were just in Abu Dhabi, which wasn't super. A lot didn't happen. I don't remember too much about it. I remember just kind of just being a continuation of just kind of like, okay, we're here. I remember that's when maybe we started to discover those fruit drinks, though. Yeah, those like icy drink things they have. That's like just like a pile of fruit on top of it. I get them all over the Middle East. You really don't remember this?
I'm about to find out.
I hope so. Most expats. I don't remember if they had a maid or not, but they had quarters for it.
They didn't have a maid, no.
Yeah.
I think they did have a service that came and cleaned up their place, but they didn't have.
There was not like a live-in maid, nothing like that. But anyway, yeah, it was. People are living different lives, y'all. Mm.
So we're sitting on our bus, which has actually turned out to be very good. It's also informed us that the temperature outside is 45 degrees Celsius. That is seriously 113 degrees. We thought about walking to the bus station.
3 miles.
3 miles. We made the right choice in getting a taxi.
3 miles? Holy shit.
Our bus today, we are taking it for 2 hours to Abu Dhabi, and it was 20 dirhams, which is a little under $5.
The intro music was a band that I was friends with in the 90s.
Or a little over $5. And it's really, really nice.
$5 for that bus?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Wow, that's cheap.
This looks like a new shirt.
It has enough legroom, which is amazing. All the seats are leather. We have air conditioning, which doesn't happen on all buses. And
it would have to happen there. You'd cook in the fucking desert.
Other than that, we
We busy at work. I still say that in my head whenever I hear that. I could actually explain that. Mm-hmm. So I used to correspond with a person that I worked with, and she and I were pretty close. I mean, we worked within 4 feet of each other for almost a year, if not more, maybe close to 2 years. And she was writing me some emails, and the end of the email just said, "Other than that, we busy at work." And I guess I read it out loud to you, and I said it like that, and it just became a catchphrase. Like every time we say "other than that," or anyone says "other than that," my brain just finishes it with "we busy at work."
Yeah, me too. It's still stuck in my head after all these years.
God, we must have said it like 1,000 times.
Okay, so couch surfing, we're giving this a try. This is like our 12th month in, and we've just now finally gotten around to giving it an honest attempt. We tried to
maybe we knew a little more about it.
And we never travel with enough notice for people to be able to give us a place to stay.
I shaved.
If you're like, oh, I'm going to be there, tomorrow. Is it cool? It's rude to drop in. But in this case, we have got a little bit more advanced notice.
I wonder how I shaved. We didn't have a trimmer with us. Maybe we bought one at some point. Because I remember when we went to Japan, I asked Brian to use his trimmer, like so I could use Brian's pube trimmer so I could trim my beard. But you shouldn't borrow somebody else's trimmer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I straight up told Marie, nah, I shave my pubes with that, you can't use it.
We was able to give a notice of about a week. So we got a hold of some people in Abu Dhabi, and it's very expensive to stay here in hotels. So that was kind of, if we couldn't have couch surfed here, we weren't going to come. So it's nice that we were able to arrange something. And this is also not a heavily backpacked area, so these people aren't like constantly bombarded with couch surfers. So it seems like it's a little easier to kind of find people that have openings for a place to stay. So we're giving it a try, and we look like we're going to be staying with Jim and Nadia. So let's see how this goes. How'd your phone call go?
I just called Nadia, and she says that she's coming to pick us up, and she says it shouldn't be too hard to find us since we're in the Marks and Spencer's at the Mark and Spencer store or whatever. And she's wearing a white long sleeve t-shirt and jeans. And I told her I'm with a guy that's 6'7", so good luck finding us. It should be easy. So we're also the only people with turtle shells on.
So stay inside.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get to go wait in the 120-degree weather.
Woohoo!
It was actually significantly less hot, if I recall, in Abu Dhabi. I remember the temperature dropped quite a bit when we went there compared to Dubai.
So we're inside the Emirates Palace, and
you know what the music is?
No, I don't know what the music is, but it was just so stereotypical.
Yeah.
Just slather it on.
I think it's from Mario Galaxy.
The cultural immersion.
this is this massive.
Oh, it's Mario.
And it's really, really super expensive. And
what a testament to the culture. I just see the little chain fireball jumping around from floor to floor. You better watch out. It's really hard to beat.
What about that sun that comes down and gets you?
100 rooms and suites, and there's like
can't take it
for like monarchs and stuff to stay in. And everything is made of like gold and crystal, and like there's like 1,000 chandeliers and 400 something rooms and domes and all sorts of madness.
Domes and shit.
It still looks like a casino.
It's insane looking.
It is.
So this portrait here, there's actually a rug hanging here. And
it's a rug?
Man, it's got to be
Don't touch
30
the
feet
rug.
tall. And I don't know, 100 foot long. So this is an ATM machine.
God, I need it to go.
Instead of cash. And some of the things in here are thousands of dollars. So if you ever needed to gold bar.
These like sparkly sounds are perfect for the coin.
The grounds is 2.5 kilometers to go around this hotel palace mess. And this is kind of what it looks like from the front. And there's these giant fountains on each side, just kind of wasting water.
As you can see, the complex is
Jesus.
not only is it on large grounds, but the building itself is humongous with 400 rooms. Tons of money have gone into this building, and it's astounding.
So this is what we think is a private entrance for the palace here. And that's pretty big too. So that is the largest freestanding flag in the world. Of course, the flag we saw when we looked over the border from South Korea and to North Korea, North Korea's flag is larger, but it's held up by wires. So the UAE likes to trumpet that they have the biggest flag in the world. So we've come.
This is basically all I remember from the time we spent in Abu Dhabi.
Just the flagpole?
No, us in the water swimming. I remember, because we're in the Persian Gulf. I remember going into it, and I remember the water being warmer than the air.
Dude, the feeling of the sand in there, I don't have nightmares, but it's really gross.
Oh, you didn't like it?
I hated it.
Was it like muggy or something? Muddy?
It was like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like gack, but like really wet and gross. Oh, it was fucking terrible. I just sat there like floating the whole time.
You're weird about textures.
Ugh, I hated it.
For the sunset, because it's about the only time of day where it's tolerable to be outside. And it's just about 100 degrees, right under 100 degrees out.
I think I jumped on you a lot.
Is actually at least the temperature of the air. It's nuts. Like you step in, yeah, it's warmer. I swear, it is. The water here is warmer than the air, and the sand is really, really fine. And at the bottom of it is this weird sludge. Like, it's really. How would you explain the sand?
It's goop.
It's goop. So you can see it jiggle.
It's like soft serve ice cream.
It kind of does that, but it's more of a plop than it is a squish.
Let me see some.
Like, this is gross.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. It's really similar to the consistency of what this reminds me of is India. This reminds me of what was coming out of me in India.
Ew. We're swimming, we can all...
I like that. It's like over a decade ago. I still got you again.
The whole thing's gross. It was gross from the start.
To get a view, it would be a side view of Emirates Palace from here. It's gigantic, so I mean it's miles away from here, and you can still see it. It's pretty amazing. And then there's the sunset. It's lovely.
My feet are definitely not touching the
The
bottom.
sunset here reminded me a lot of the sunrise that we saw in Cambodia, where the sun is like a perfect circle and you can see it, like you can look at it. It doesn't like roast your eyes or anything like what you expect in the States or in other places that we've seen sunsets or sunrises. And I think it's because of such a thick haze that you can actually look at it without it like intently burning your retina.
And then later you had to get glasses.
Magnificent colors of the sky, but you do get to see this like perfect circle sinking through the horizon, and it's pretty magnificent.
Is that a little speedboat or?
This is the main
No.
route along the coast in Abu Dhabi, and this is all like Ramadan festivity lights. So you can see a little bit behind some trees, but they just run up the main road just like a Christmas decoration would in the States. It's very similar. Wonder if we'll be getting a branch in the States anytime soon.
Yeah, I think we have one more video tonight. Tonight's running a little long because of the way things just worked out with organization.
What's the temperature in Abu Dhabi right now?
Right now,
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah, you just click on the city. The minute it tells you
32 there.
Yeah.
38.
38. And what about Dubai?
440.
40.
See, I told you it was hotter there.
Wow, look at the islands. Yeah, maybe we should look at the actual city when we look at it, like before we watch the video, because you might get some. Look at Abu Dhabi again.
What is it that you want to see? I don't understand.
We talked about some structures in Dubai, and it was interesting just to see those structures and have kind of an understanding that the coast, and this looks unlike anything I feel like I should remember. Like there's the Emirates Palace, so I know we were over there, and it's just kind of cool to have that.
I don't remember much about our time in Abu Dhabi. We went to a mall that felt a little more. It felt like I'm gonna say dirt mall, but it didn't feel like one of the big extravagant ones. It felt like something where like local people that live in the area actually go and like shop. It felt more like what you would expect from like your image of like the Middle East or something. You know what I mean? The ski thing is in the Mall of Emirates.
Yeah, I guess they've got 2 man-made islands now.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably
the
more
ski
than
thing we
that.
went to was in Dubai for sure. I don't know if you're trying to say that it was in Abu Dhabi or not. I don't know, but for sure we went
It might
in
have
Dubai.
been because we zoomed in on the map.
Oh,
Might
yeah.
have been on the
That
map.
maybe. Okay.
So we're in Abu Dhabi and we're in an apartment. And we're staying with Jim
Yeah, so this is the couch surfing location.
and Nadia. And they're both Americans. And Jim works here, and Nadia is in between jobs at the moment, but has been working here in the past. And they both lived here a couple of years. And are you seeing this apartment? Like, that's the door where you come in. And that's a really long way away. Like, for an apartment, it's massive. This is much bigger than the house that I lived in Fredericksburg. And it's got a corner window that overlooks Abu Dhabi. And the view is not stunning. There is an ocean nearby. The Persian Gulf is nearby, but they do not have a view of that. But I mean, does it matter? Like, why would you bother looking outside when you have this amazing, amazing apartment? And this apartment has got 3 large bedrooms, and it has 4 bathrooms. And I'll take you over and you can see the kitchen.
4 bathrooms.
Tile and just gorgeous. And
I'm kind of fascinated with the little magnets that hold things on the wall. I never had one, but every time I see it, I'm like, wow, that's really cool.
whole thing here.
Whoops.
Right in there. It's got a shower. Like, it's like an Asian bathroom
My hand fat fingered something.
thing here. And then there's a room in here, and there's another bathroom right in there. It's got a shower. Like, it's like an Asian bathroom. This is for, I'm not even joking, this room is supposed to be for the maid to live in. It's tiny, and I can't imagine ever stuffing a person in there, but that's the maid's room. And to come down this long hallway. And this is our bathroom. And normal, nice facilities, a bidet. Yeah. And this is a bedroom with a large bed in it. I don't know how to turn the light on. Here we go. This is just a big, huge bedroom. And this is Jim and Nadia's room, and there is a bathroom in there, but I'm not going to go in there. That's rude. And then this is the room that we're staying in, and Katie is sleeping, sort of. And again, this is this room is easily as big as the living room was in our house in Fredericksburg. So it's just really.
Look how high the ceilings are.
And the ceilings are, I'd say they're probably 12 or 13 feet high. And as you can see, the windows go from almost floor all the way up to the ceiling.
So this is like, you got to think about like the perspective we had. This was probably the nicest place we'd been. Majority of the time we'd been traveling this like entire year or whatever that it transpired. So it was like
I mean, we'd just been to the Emirates Palace, but you know.
I mean, stayed at.
Yeah, I'm joking.
The next closest place would probably when we stayed with the Starkeys in Sendai. Like that was a nice place to stay.
It's got these massive.
But we've been like staying in places with roaches and like just all sorts of like crazy bullshit.
Beautiful windows, and you can stick your nose outside if you want to feel the oven. And we're on the 7th floor. How many floors are there? 19 floors. And later we'll show you what's up on the 19th floor.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. Somebody needs to get on that light.
Yeah, it's annoying. Get that fixed.
So from the 19th floor, you get a pretty damn good view of Abu Dhabi. Especially at night, it looks amazing. And then on top of that, there's a pool. What the hell? They told us there was a pool on the roof, and I actually had to look at them and go, is this some sort of high school prank where we get stuck up there with the mad sunburn and whatnot? But really, there's a pool up here. It's pretty amazing. Like, these people are living in the lap of luxury, that's for sure.
More Mario.
I want to practice ice skating more.
I just asked you if it was slippery.
Do something impressive. Neither of us have done this in our adult lives. I'm glad we've got this thing on the side. It's hard. That spin I just did, that was not intentional.
Hey, you're kicking ass, man. Look at this.
Yeah, I really like doing it. It's fun. If you get the right shoes and...
Don't knock me down again. Again. You knock me down. I know your circular ruse. Are you using me to stop?
Yeah. Toes don't make sense. If you stop with the toes, that just seems like it's gonna kill you.
Death, yeah. It's a skating angel.
Look at me go. Smoking you.
We are outside of the Grand Mosque in Abu Dhabi, and
This felt sketch.
So
Yeah, this night felt weird. I don't remember what the deal was. Hopefully we explain it.
the celebration that they must have at the mosque has ended, and the buses are going to be packed now. I mean, there have got to be hundreds of people over there trying to get onto those buses. Good luck, guys.
Whoa.
And this is the mosque, the Grand Mosque.
It's a cool looking building.
I don't know really any facts about it. I just know that it looks immense.
One of the largest in the world.
It is one of the largest in the world, a correspondent has told me. So we're gonna go get a closer look and see what happens.
So we got up there to the Grand Mosque, and the security guard told us to leave because it is Ramadan and you can only do visiting hours or whatever between 9 and 12. So, I mean, whatever. It's not a big deal. The cool thing about seeing it was just seeing it. I don't think that we would have been allowed inside anyways, but that's just kind of a guess. I've read someplace that there's only one mosque in all of the UAE that allows non-Muslim visitors inside. So we're at Carrefour, and we tried to walk in, and we walked in and stopped for a moment to get a basket. And they came over, and the security guard here told me to give my bag to this bag check guy over here. And I mean, my bag's got, you know, a $500 camera in it, then a $200 DS. I've got a $400 iPod in it, my wallet, my pass.
I still have the iPod?
No, we probably bought a new one.
No, we didn't. We never bought a second one.
It died in India, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Why did I say that? Maybe I just listing off things because I was frustrated. I don't
You
know.
had a broken ass iPod in there that you're trying to sell for $400.
That's weird. I didn't buy a second one.
Sport. Like, I'm not leaving my bag with some random chucklehead. So they were just like, well, I was like, well, let's leave. And Katie turns around, sees a woman with a giant purse, and she was like, well, that woman has a purse. And they were like, no, women can bring a bag in, men can't bring in a bag in. So what? Well, I guess men are the only people that steal in this society.
You are evil.
Am I missing something here?
True.
So needless to say, I'm a little pissed off right now. But so I handed Katie the wallet, and now she's walking around. And we tried to just hang my bag on Katie. I mean, screw it. And the guy was like, no, only one bag per person. I mean, that's obviously horseshit.
We tried to put the bag on me.
We just found a way around his difficult plan. But I guess I hope Katie's in there stuffing her bag full of millions of dollars of merchandise. Screw this guy.
The guy's just doing his job. I probably shouldn't have been that directed at him. I was just frustrated at the moment. Yeah, this thing.
Like really, really amazing. This one is avocado, and it's not like, this one's not as amazing as the other ones we've had, but it's pretty good. I had cantaloupe last night, and it was like spot on. And Katie's got a berry mixture over here. It's like strawberries and other berries and berries, and they're kind of the consistency of a milkshake almost. And they put like this slime, like, I don't know another word for it. It's really sweet, and it's kind of like almost the consistency of honey into it. And it's really just a pretty good treat. And it's not super, super sweet, but it's sweet enough to make us happy.
He's not, you know.
So this cannon here is massive.
I like the cannon.
Yeah, me in the background. I like the cannon.
Okay, we got a bunch of pictures to go through. Maybe this will fill in some of the things. Ooh, all right, here we go. So that was the very first picture that we took when we got there, and this is the same building at nighttime. So it looks kind of neat, right? We didn't go into the top, which is kind of funny because of how much I'm like, wow, it's so cool, like it's neat. But I remember it being like, at the time for us, it's like ridiculously expensive. So, more pictures of the same building, but from a distance. You can see some of the construction that's going on, like in the bottom right here. Like these areas were like full of like places with these people from like the Southeast Asia, Indian subcontinent and stuff, just like doing construction work. And you can see like those like tarp things. It'd be like people huddled under these tarps and stuff. And then they build these fences around it, so you can't really see into it unless you get a higher vantage point, because they're kind of like, at the time anyways, trying to like maybe hide the slavery. I don't know. It just felt weird, man.
A bug just went in front of the TV, and I thought it was a bird in the picture, and I was like, wow, there's a bird in the picture.
It's 3D.
I know how technology works. That almost looks like you're at the same area that you were when you made the video at the nighttime.
It's possible. Maybe it was back and forth going across to where our hotel was or something. I don't remember. Showed that in the video. When I looked at this picture earlier, I was like, I wonder if that looks antiquated now.
Oh, yeah.
Or if they've just updated it or whatever. Guess this is the name of a store. It's me and Katie.
That look good.
I don't know what's like. We should have gone in there and got whatever they were making. Why did maybe they weren't open or something? I don't know, but like that looked right now.
The day that we decided we were going to go in there, they weren't open. I kind of feel that's the memory.
Like we tried or something, but yeah, like what are I reading? I bet they're good. I bet whatever they're making is delicious. That's a real big plant.
Trying to make smooth moves.
That just looked like a Pokeball.
Did you just get rowdy because you saw me in camel format?
What?
You got the moving the arm over.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Camels are my fetish.
Yeah, I know. Got a bit of a camel face.
It's your hump that I'm really into.
Yeah, girl.
It's a Pokeball. I don't know. It just caught my eye when we saw it probably in the originally. Just like, oh, it looks like a Pokeball. We talked about that in the video. It does look neat, though. They're just like, I don't know, the glass and everything, the color. It's cool. Like, things can be, like, functional and artistic at the same time. This is us driving out to Hatta, like I said, with Isan. She ended up, like, I don't know if she ended up having, like, an awakening, but she ended up leaving her, like, high-paying job, like, in Dubai or whatever. She when we were there, I remember her talking kind of, like, maybe a little, like, not disgusted, but not that happy with the culture that she was wrapped up in. She ended up, like, going to Bali and living in Bali for a long time and, like, became, like, a meditation master or something and moved back to Turkey and, like, teaches meditation classes in Turkey. And this was all ages ago when I followed. Like, I don't think she even uses Facebook anymore, but I followed her on Facebook for years.
Yeah, whenever I see Erdogan, I think about her. And I'm like, what does she think about the Erdogan situation?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't think she likes it. Okay.
But she was cool. It was nice of her to just take us and hang out with us like this. I noticed in a lot of the pictures, we've started putting our arms up like this in a lot of the pictures. Mm-hmm. And what's the deal with that?
Posing.
Yeah. That's more natural. There's never made pictures of us like this.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Like the two of us, not taken by us. Some bones.
I think I ate a granola bar in the car. That's what I had. That's what I broke the rules for Ramadan for. What was that?
You're going to go to Muslim hell for a granola bar.
I'm going to go to fucking Christian hell for a lot of other things, so... All right. Just add it to the tab.
It's going to be like divorced parents. You're going to 3 days here, 4 days there.
Wow.
No. Like, it's going to be like having divorced parents. You got to go to Christian hell for 3 days and Muslim hell for 4 days, and like.
Oh, but I'm over here like thinking I've got to give it time for their shit.
I don't think you're understanding what I'm trying to say.
For having I understand what you're trying to say. Like all of the different offenses that you have time where you have to spend in that hell. That's what you're expressing. But I'm not trying to do time for the shit that my parents didn't do right.
Yeah, you. It has nothing to do with your parents being divorced. Katie doesn't understand the joke.
But you said confused. My parents were having divorced parents.
No, I said it's like having divorced parents.
Oh, gotcha. My bad. I didn't hear like.
That's the.
It was a key word in that sentence.
It really was important. That's the flag of the UAE painted up on that rock. It's kind of neat. The rock in itself kind of looks cool too. Like just like with like those like caves and stuff.
Unique.
If it wasn't like the surface of the sun, it'd probably be fun to climb around up in there and get bit by a camel or whatever's up there.
Like put stuff in the random areas.
This is one of our best animal signs.
We later saw some camels. And they saw us.
Yep.
Some were more attentive than others.
Yeah. I mean, this is camels out there, man.
The
camels are in the background, like in the bottom right, you can see the camels. But yeah, I remember the sand being like you just sink into it, like it was really fine and loose, and you can tell because like the wind is blowing, and you can see the sand kind of like blowing up off the sand dune.
You look skinny.
You calling me fat?
Yep.
That was post India.
I know. That's why you look skinny.
You think that's still there?
No.
This is just right off the side of the road. It was neat. I've seen one.
Went shopping.
I've seen one of these in Japan.
Oh yeah, I feel like I've seen it somewhere else too.
How much would you pay for that? $100.
Gonna have to get rid of the table.
It's okay.
Dude, I think it was like $1,000.
No, it was like 10. It was like 10 grand or something. It was
How much
obscene.
would I pay for that? Probably nothing because it's not very functional.
What are you talking about? It's got a light.
But I can't do anything near that light.
Katie.
How many pictures are there? I gotta pee really bad.
24.
Okay,
60,
I'm gonna pee.
There's 60 pictures.
You and this pony have a moment.
How much would you guys pay for that pony? That's what I want to know. Al would pay 0. You should be willing to pay more than 0. It's a pony, man. Yeah, this has been a long episode. The pony would have to pay you guys. You guys are jacked up. I would pay 5,000 yen. And I would stick it in my office and laugh about it. Or what if you could just could you weather seal it and put it in the yard? That'd be good. That pony would have to pay rent? What about ponies? What kind of abnormal animal is that? Those kids who had their own ponies. I had a pony.
My
mother had a pony. We all had ponies.
My sisters had ponies. We all had the ponies.
Yeah, okay, so here, what if we weather sealed it and put it in the yard? With the tanuki.
It would yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Probably $100
Wow.
to put it in the yard. Could put it down at the bottom of the stairs.
Who would leave a country with ponies?
Who would leave a country with
ponies
ponies to come to a non-pony country?
Jerry says that you're using the wrong accent.
It doesn't matter. It's more fun.
Katie, did you see you in a P?
I didn't know.
Katie getting ready with her windbreaker.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell in my face, I'm just kind of like, what in the hell? How did I get rid of my beard? Did I get my... No, because I cut the beard off. I got the haircut and then I trimmed my beard. It didn't all happen. I didn't get the beard trimmed at the barber or whatever. You look like you're skiing on 120s or something, little tiny skis.
Does that mean they're scarier?
No, it means it's easier. Longer is scarier.
Does it mean it goes faster?
Longer means faster.
Shit was scary. I don't really remember it too much.
A lot of this was covered in the videos.
You can see how red my hands are.
From being cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's 3Z. This is when I learned that cockroaches need water to live, and if you deny them of water, they die.
So you were just starving them to death, or thirsting
Well, I
them
had put
to death?
cookies in there and lettuce. I put a whole bunch of things in there, but I didn't put any water. And I was wondering why 3Z just wasn't having a good time. And so we ended up taking him outside and just letting him go. And then I guess I researched it and found out that they need water to be happy. And then I was like, man, I wish I hadn't gotten rid of 3Z. Could have watched him a little bit more.
This was in the hotel room. Yeah, you were putting lettuce and stuff. I forgot about that.
I was trying to have an experiment, and then he just got real sluggish. And I was like, this 3Z's not good. Yeah, lettuce does have water.
Well, he needs more water than that. He needs a glass, baby.
What if I'd put a small glass inside the glass?
The thing about this area is that it doesn't really feel like it has any history or reason to exist. Everything feels fake. There's no background for it to exist. It all feels like Disneyland or something. Kind of. You know what I mean? And even this cultural stuff, which might be a representation of things that did exist to a degree, it just doesn't feel authentic or something. There's something about it. I don't know. The picture looks like the meme of the girl with the house on fire. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, you do. You don't know the internet. There's a girl, like, she burnt down a house or something. It's got that same vibe.
I'm going to make a Ramadan deal.
It's kind of funny, man. The Colonel getting in there with his deals.
It's colorful. Hungry.
How many,
cheeseburgers were in there? Tons. Good tea.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Look at that building, though. That's nuts. Look how small I look. Things that make me look small are kind of like, whoa.
We did not have enough money for gold, I'm assuming.
No, I don't think we got anything out of this gold vending machine. It just seems a bit ridiculous in general. Yeah, I mean, it was like cooler enough that we were
out in daylight.
That we were out in daylight. Yeah.
I jump off boats.
There's a series of pictures of us doing this.
Yeah, I do this in the water.
What? Take selfies?
Yeah, just take lots of pictures.
Why do you do that?
I don't know. Get bored. And then I'm like, wow, the water, it works in the water.
What's wrong with fake if it's well made? I guess that's an opinion somebody could have.
I don't remember what this is.
I don't remember either. I think we were just making faces. Look at the tan on your feet. Just from wearing the same sandals for a year. It's a cool picture. That's some Katie shit right there. Lining up the sun. A little crab. Looks like we have crabs. Good thing we got the cube trimmer.
Yeah. I like the Canon. Yep, there's some Eric stuff. We're playing cards.
Oh yeah, we are.
I had my Benjamin's cards.
You're getting slaughtered at some card
no
game,
doubt
probably.
about that. We'll never play Moncala ever again because I beat you last time, so hooray!
I feel like we walked away from this mosque and it took a really long time to get back or something. But again, this is like a hole in my memory.
I remember going there.
To
the mosque.
Just this time in general. Like, I feel like there's certain places we went. I remember like a lot of moments, but this time for some reason was just sort of fuzzy. It's just fuzzy in my memory. And then this will be from next week. This is my teaser picture that we'll be going up and we'll be seeing stuff like this and going up into the mountains and seeing a gigantic donkey penis. So all of that'll be coming.
It's so sleepy time.
Coming next week. Yeah, I'm tired too.
I'm gonna have a snack and then I gotta take a shower and then I gotta try to get to bed and maybe not 12 o'clock. Good luck to me.
It's already 10:15.
I've done all my studying. I have homework that I should do, but it's not due till next week. So.
So anyway, yeah, we'll catch up with this next week. Next week will probably be.
Bye, Taco.
Next week will probably be the last time we do an Us Watching Us.
Right on time.
Last time we do an Us Watching Us for a while.
Are you really thinking about being gone? Like, when are you thinking? Should I ask these questions to you at another time?
I mean, I'm going to go to Hokkaido for a while, so it's going to be longer than a week.
Yeah, I know, but are you thinking that you would be gone? Like, I'm not personally prepared for the fact that next week you're leaving, but you're talking about it like that.
It's going to depend on if I can get things done. But it'll be after next Tuesday, so we'll do Us Watching Us next week. So, but after that, then it becomes kind of, we don't know what's going to happen.
I definitely don't know what's going to happen.
Yes,
like, I'm checking in right now, like, oh, okay, so...
So next week we'll be watching the entire Oman series. And then after that, we will end up going to Egypt. But again, I don't know when we'll be watching that. It might be in September. So there's going to be a bit of a break. But anyway, we will do more Us Watching Us next week. And until then, we have, I'll do a stream. Hopefully I'll do another motorbike stream sometime this week in the evening. So for the people that are awake during this time period, that'll be something. If you want to hang out with me, I'll do that. And then Sunday, I plan on streaming. I have no idea what I'm going to do. It's possible Katie will be there. It's possible she won't. We don't know yet. So just stay tuned for more live streams. And then we have YouTube videos and stuff that are going to be coming as well later this week for the general population and for Patreon, hopefully, because I got to finish one before the end of the month. So everything has
What's
now
today?
been announced.
The 25th?
Yep.
Wow.
31
July
days, though.
Flew by.
July flew by. So anyway, yeah, that'll be the stuff that's coming soon.